It's bad.
Yes. So it'd be good if you could just tell us again what you've told us previously about being at Furno Lodge on phone, and you're describing how in the afternoon.
We tied up at the wharf.
Just before you went up to the lodge, sometime you saw a.
Yeah, well, we got there at 4 o'clock, and then this yacht come in behind us.
Yeah.
And moored directly behind us. And this bloke was standing there with this scruffy beard on it I showed you. A bit like those identical pictures that you got.
Right.
But his beard was a lot darker than what that was on there. And then we went from there up to, we watched him for a long while, and I said to one of the blokes with us, I hope that he gets changed before he comes up to the pub. And then when we got up the pub, we had been there for a while, and he walked in with Ben and Olivia, was it Olivia, I hope? Yeah. And he walked in with them, followed it in behind him. Then he was making a nuisance of himself, or for a good half an hour or more.
Right.
And then he kept on moving along the bar, and in my corner where I was my party of blokes that we had aboard the boat, and a couple of the security guards. And I said to the security guard, you'll have to get in and stop that because there's going to be trouble. And he said, don't worry, I am watching him. And then I took no notice of him after that, but whether they chucked him out or what, I wouldn't have a clue. But when we went back down to the boat that night, there was no sign of anything down the wharf when we went to bed, because we left at 7 o'clock the next morning. And the yacht had gone. The yacht that this scruffy bloke had gone. I did notice that because I had to dodge it to back out from the wharf. And I wanted to go alongside of the Roe Allen, a friend of mine from Wellington.
Yeah.
And to say good day to him, because he was supposed to meet us in the pub at night, and he didn't come ashore. And that's when I passed the Blade. And the Blade had a dinghy tied alongside of him, but he was pulling his anchor up. And that would have been about 7:30 in the morning. And then, I'm trying to think of William next name, but never mind. George, that's it. Yeah. And he was still in bed. So and I said to him, I did say to Scott Watson, don't worry, I won't hit your dinghy, I'm watching it. And he must have thought I was going to squash it, alongside of his own boat. And he was still there at 7:30.
Right.
So I don't know how they got the story that he had left at 4 o'clock. I can't make it out.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And then we just went on our merry way. And it wasn't until the next day that we found out that they were missing.
Yeah. And when you say it was Scott Watson, you've at that stage you'd seen Scott Watson around Picton and things.
Oh, no, hang on, I didn't actually know it was Scott Watson, but it was his boat. I don't know, I know the boat well.
Oh, okay. You know
the Blade.
Yeah, sure.
But whoever was on the Blade was pulling up the anchor.
Right.
When he thought I was going to squash his dinghy, and that's when I said to him, don't worry, I said, I'm watching it.
Okay.
And the next morning when we went to leave, the crowd I had were, someone was sleeping on the boat and someone was sleeping ashore in those units, when we walked up the path there. Someone was sleeping in one of those. And that's why we left at 7 o'clock each morning. And then we had breakfast aboard the boat on the way out fishing. And the weather was niggly, so we came up and went out Toy Channel. And it wasn't until the next, well, being the second. The second. And when, what was his name?
John
Smart. He jumped aboard the boat just as I was going to go up stern.
Right.
And he said, could I hold you up for just a minute and showed us these photos. Did we know them? And I said to the blokes that were with me, I said, well, that's the two that were that were watching in the pub last night. Of course, we all agreed on that. And of course, we hadn't seen them. Then he told us that they were missing. And that's the first time we knew.
Sure.
So that's all we seen, because we went to bed. We went to bed about. Well, we left the pub just after 12:30, and got down the boat, and then we had to have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And then we went to bed. Got up at 7:15 and started up the boat, and away we went.
Yeah. And when you saw Ben and Olivia and this Scruffy guy come in, so you were down at Reg's corner, which is
where we were yesterday.
Where the entrance from outside into the main bar is. So you were just there on the right hand side of it, immediately inside the door.
Yep.
And they'd come in from the door
at
at the far end of the bar.
Going into the dining room.
Yeah.
There is double doors where you can come into the building out there, and they must have come up that way. Did you notice that fountain going there yesterday?
Yep.
Yeah, well, they come in, there's doors there where they can come in from that side, and we come in from round this side.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And when they first came in through that door, did they sort of go to the bar?
Yeah, they walk over to the far end of the bar,
yeah,
and that's when he started tormenting them.
Right. So
that's all we've seen of that bloke. Never seen him again, never seen the boat again.
And so the impression that he was tormenting them.
Oh, he was tormenting them.
That was just from the way that they were interacting. You couldn't actually, could you hear what he was
saying?
Oh,
no, couldn't
Too
hear
far
it,
away with all the other noise.
No, I just thought, well, it's up to this bouncer bloke, this security guard. And they moved, not once, they moved about 4 times to do that distance along that bar. There was a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And they just moved along, walked away from it. And he come along, and when he got right down by ours, by those houses where I pointed out yesterday, he tried to get in between them.
Right.
And that's when I said to this, I can't even think of his name. And I said to him, well, it's time you went and did something about that. He said, don't worry, Reg. He said, I'm watching him. And of course, the rest of the crowd, there was a boy saw